Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So I'm very excited to bring back to you the prepping hauls. You've been really eagerly waiting, and I had so many emails for you asking when on earth I'm going to be start doing this. So there we are. You guys voted, okay, from the next couple of weeks. The next challenges will be a £15 a week challenges, prepping challenges. So I'll be popping into a different supermarket and spending £15 to top up my prepper pantry. This one is not relevant to that. This is just my bargain prepping haul. It's been a payday, so I popped into a couple of supermarkets, and as usually, luckily for me, I picked up some bargains. So guys, for all of you who know, I normally do 3 supermarkets because they are in a pretty much close proximity. So I have Tesco's, Asda and Lidl. And secondly, what you see in front of me is not necessarily the things I eat on a daily basis, okay? As a prepper and as emergency preparedness, I like to have, and we should all have, things like tins stashed away on the back of the cupboard. Just in case something happens, you got something to fall back onto. And unfortunately, in this instances, guys, for a long-term storage, things are generally come in the tins and not particularly that healthy. But nonetheless, that is what it is. So without further ado, guys, let's proceed with the prices. So, right, we're going to start with this. Right, okay, so we're talking about Tesco's. Only a couple of things being bought from Tesco's. Right, they currently have one of those instant coffee drinks, okay, on the deal. So they're reduced from 1.95 to 84 pence. I normally get them for my husband to take to work, and they're approximately £1.09 for a basic version. They're reduced to 84p, which is not that bad. Now looking at ingredients, they don't look that particularly great, but again, as an emergency preparedness, they are sachets, so if you do need to sort of, you know, leave the house kind of thing, this is something you should have in your go bag as well. Really handy. It's got some sugars, got that kind of thing in there. They're really good items, and 84p for 7 sachets, that is very good. Right, another thing, Tesco's. Again, to my surprise, luckily, they have some beans with sausages, right? But this is like a Polish brand. Normal beans and sausages that you buy from the tin are absolutely atrociously bad. But again, as a prepper, will buy them because you have a little bit of protein, you got beans, you got a bit of meat. You know, it's semi-palatable. Nonetheless, they're rather expensive, and they're still going up in price. I think now beans and sausages are approximately 59p, right? And they're just an average size tin. So those ones here, they're reduced from £2.10 to 95p, but the quality of the sausage in there and just the quality of the beans and the sauce is night and day. Anytime, if you ever go to, say, Lidl or Aldi, if they have special week when they do like a foreign foods, especially Polish, their sausage and beans in any kind of combination, any kind of jar is far superior to the stuff you buy in the supermarket. So nonetheless, 95p, and this jar is 500 grams. So they had 5 and I got 5. So next thing, guys, is those little pastes. You might have seen me showing this on the previous video as an emergency £15 prep. They are rather handy. They're not the best tasting things, absolutely not, and they're full of stuff that probably don't want, but as a prepper and emergency preparedness, they are good to go. They're ready to eat, so you don't have to do anything. You don't need to warm them up. They're really small, so you could put them in a bag if you have a 72-hour emergency bag, if you need to leave the house, that kind of thing, because you can just easily open them. All you need is a bit of cracker or a little breadstick, dip it in there, and they're great. And the fact is, they've got a couple of years date on them as well. So nonetheless, something I think everybody should have in the back. 34 pence. 34p, that is very good. Even if I don't use them after the few years and end up, you know, going in the bin, that's a cheap enough insurance for me to have this in the back of my pantry. So next thing, let's proceed with Lidl. Right, again, they periodically, as you know, do deals on certain things. With the Lidl card, you get discounts, and they do rices at 20%, the already pre-cooked rice. So those guys worked out between 32 and 35 pence, because the price is slightly different on which one you choose. But for ready-made rice, and the dates on this 26 July 26. Okay, there's plenty of options available. Obviously dates will be very slightly, so this is the same, July 26, but nonetheless between 32 and 35 pence. Okay, that's a really good thing. Right, so next thing, guys, right, is dips. right? It's not the best. They have changed the recipe a bit, so they don't taste as good as they used to. And of course, the prices has gone up as well. So they're now 89 pence. It's not something we consume on a fairly regular basis, but I haven't bought them for a while, and I make sure I always have a few of them in a stock. Again, they're really good for a long-term preparedness. The date on this end of 26, so we're good. And all you need for that, buy some chips and quick snack ready in case of an emergency. Right, next thing, nuts, seeds and nuts. Right, those guys there, and I've got different varieties. Right, in Lidl, they're 99p still, which is good. So 200 grams peanuts, they're peanuts as well, and you've got some cashews, right? They're 125 grams. Okay, you might wonder why on earth. Well, nuts are actually very good. Even though for long-term preparedness, guys, they'll still sit for a good couple of years in your pantry. Normally, I make my own mix, okay? When I have some fruit, dried fruit, dehydrated fruit, mix some nuts. It works out to be far cheaper, okay? And I know the proportions I want to put in there than actually buying this already mixed. But anyway, as a prepper, nuts are good. They'll last you a good while. And they've got some good fats for us, okay, for an emergency. And another thing on this note, Lidl now brought out a new range, which I quite like to see. You know, when you see something new, like, ooh, that's good, that's different, let's have a look. And the price is good. So, the brand's called, not the brand, but the sub-brand called Alesto. Okay, and this literally appeared just last week. So, this is a seed mix that I'll be using on the top of my bread, okay, when I bake my own bread. They also have a tropical mix, which has got some bananas, some coconut, that kind of thing. And they are 300 grams, those ones. This is 250. And they've got some chia seeds, right? And they are 200 grams. They are, all of them, are £1.35, which I thought was rather good. £1.35 nowadays, it doesn't get you a lot, but especially with the mix of seeds, I think it was a really, really good price. So there's more options there available. Go check it out. Right, next thing, of course, can't go without pasta. Still 28p. I'm still surprised. And every time I'm going to go there, they're still 28p. And I'm showing you on the video, I'm going to say the same thing. I'm still surprised because everything else has gone up. Right, so I've got a couple of them. Also, right, those pre-made tortellini pastas. Right, they used to be, believe this or not, 69 pence. 69p. And they're now £1.19. So they're pretty much more than doubled in price, right? The date on those guys is, I think it was April, end of April. They will sit there for another couple of months afterwards. After that, I've noticed they're starting to have sort of plasticky smell, probably because they are wrapped up in, in a plastic. But nonetheless, £1.19, even for 6 months, short-term preparedness, they are really, really good to have. You just boil them and ready to go. Right, another thing new in Lidl is those little tuna fusions, right? I think they're already drained. They're not cheap, mind you. Yeah, drained, ready to eat. They're not cheap, but this one is chili and garlic. This one is lemon and thyme. Generally, I think they're 99p, but they do them on the deal sometimes at 75 pence. So I've got two to try them out. They only, size of the tin is 80 grams, but it is a drained weight. General tuna, I think is 100 grams, and this is with water. So I think they're a good one because you're just ready, pull cord, ready to eat. All right, and that's from Lidl, food-wise. Oh no, hold on, of course not. Silly me. Right, Lidl, here. Tomatoes. My favorite chopped tomatoes from Lidl with the flavorings. They are now 59p. They've been slowly creeping up, and I said to you, at some point they'll get to the stage where they're going to become a little bit unaffordable. But nonetheless, because the extra flavour is already there, I think it's a very good option. Right, another thing, I got one of the mixed spiced beans in tomato sauce. I don't think I've seen that one. They not in the spicy sauce. Anyway, again, it was on the deal at 47p, so I bought one to try. Right, beans, the same. They're currently 29p, so I've got 4 of them. Right, peas. Again, it was lucky day for me. Garden peas in water, fresh owner ones. Right, they are a big tin, well, normal size tin, 400 grams. They're normally 65p. They were on their deal, like sometimes they did with the 9p peas, 35p. I'm like, okay, that sounds really, really good. I bought 10 of them because peas, no, they're okay. It's an occasional thing. You can add them onto like casseroles, that kind of thing. And because generally, see, this one is December 28. it's absolutely no-brainer. 35 pence. I'll probably come back and get some more if they still do this on their deal, but I think it's a really, really good price. Right, so that's that. So Lidl, again, another new thing. They've got pickled onions, but they're in a malt vinegar. Okay, and I haven't seen them. It's a big jar as well. That's new. Currently 99p. Okay, but chances are, if the demand is good, they're probably going to be going up like the pickles did. So nonetheless, 99p for a big jar of pickles. I think it's really, really good. One thing I've seen I missed, guys, sorry, is the Tesco's sweet corn. All right, so corn's gone up in price, but now I've seen that Tesco sweet corn, it's 62p, but their Growers Harvest now is 52, I think, or 56. But I've noticed they've got quite a lot of addition of salt and sugar, and those ones are just in naturally sweetened water, and so is the Lidl's one. So be mindful, because I think that's a new thing. I don't think they had addition of salt and sugar into them, unless I'm wrong. Nonetheless, right, 62p. Sweet corn is absolute must. Right, Lidl, another thing. And I know some of you might disagree, but the seeds, and get there now if it's not too late. Lidl seeds are really, really good price. And comparing to the branded ones, right, where you only get like 5 seeds, 3 seeds, that kind of thing, they are actually really generous with the amount of seeds that are inside them. And literally, they vary from 29p to 49p. So that's really, really good. And I know some say, well, you know, best to buy like, you know, heirloom varieties, that kind of thing. Actually, if I have a look at some of the varieties of the seeds they have, a lot of them are, okay? Because yes, if it's hybrid, it will tell you hybrid, but I strongly suggest for any who think they only sell like a hybrid seeds, they don't. And that's what makes them really, really good. So I topped up on that. Right, next thing then, I had Asda. I popped into Asda for, I can't remember what it was, but I picked up some bargain meats in there. Nothing to do with the prepping pantry, but with the prepping freezer is always as important. And also some of the lemon stuff, I buy them from Lidl, normally they're 35p. They're reduced to 22p. So again, for certain recipes, you know, they're good to have. And again, I've noticed recently with Asda, right, they are, if you go there in the morning, so I normally do school run straight to Asda if I need to go, they've got a really good prices on meats, and they reduced them pretty much like half price, sometimes more. So I've got like a normal 6 pork steaks at £2.70, and then I've got the exceptional rump of lamb. Okay, this one is how much? 404 grams. It says it serves 2, but we'll see. But anyway, reduced to £3.63. Which is not bad. And I picked up a week ago, they did some hex sausages. The ones are 97% pork, the like really good sausages, for £1 and like a few pennies. Literally, it's crazy. And again, some of you might think, yes, why on earth would you not buy your meat from the supermarket and buy it from the butcher? Well, unless somebody tells you that they've seen your local butcher with a trolley full of meat in Asda supermarket during the time pre-Christmas when they was doing the sales, you might think twice about shopping at your local butcher. And this is unfortunately now for me is a bit of a thing, because, you know, I'm also for supporting and trying to support the small businesses, but if those small businesses then stock up their meat in the supermarket and then sell them for 4 times the price, then I'd much rather still go to supermarket, because at the end of the day, right, it is about the money. We all, you know, unless you're a millionaire, we all have our budgets. But I am currently looking into buy like a whole or half an animal or something from a local farm and then share it between the neighbors, so it can, you know, be a little bit cost effective. But as it currently stands, if I go there and I see a decent deal on a decent piece, then unfortunately I'll buy it from there. So there we are. So there we are, guys. Well, hopefully you have enjoyed this video. I feel a bit rusty doing that, you know. It's been a while. It's literally been an absolute while since I've done that. But I do hope you welcome this with the, you know, for some applause and thank yous. Anyway, I do hope you have enjoyed this video. Please don't forget, thumbs up. This is the most important thing. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber. And I shall see you on the next episode. Bye-bye.